Welcome back, everyone. This is Aaron Aulner with the Aulner Home Team, one of the owners of Evolve Realty. And today we're going to talk about what to do if your furnace isn't working. And the reason we're going to discuss that is because when I got up this morning and was getting ready for church, I realized it's a little chillier in the house than it normally is. And so sure enough, it was 4 degrees off the set point that I had. And so I had to do a little work. So today we're going to talk about what I found and then talk about a few things that you can try if your furnace isn't working as well. So let's get started right now. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to show you a few photos now and walk you through what I seen when I came down here first thing in the morning to check out the furnace. As you'll notice with this first picture, this is entering my utility room. You can see that there's water all over the floor, both around the water heater as well as around the furnace. And then the next photo you'll see is around the back of the furnace. You can see that the water ran all the way around behind it and even into the storage space even behind the furnace. So let's take a look at the inside of the furnace so that we can see what I found. I completely disassembled the front of it. I took one of the panels off so that I could see inside of the A coil where the condensation happens, so that I could find out where the water was coming from, because I could not tell. The water was everywhere, everything was wet. And so let's take a look at the inside here. So this photo shows the inside part of the furnace where the induction blower motor is. You can see how it's wet on the panel below that. And then this next photo is a photo of the bottom part of the furnace where the actual blower is, that pulls air in from the house, brings in the cold air, and then exchanges the air. You can see there's water in the bottom of that as well. But it was all flowing from somewhere up top, and I couldn't figure out where it was coming from exactly until I took off the top panel here and could see inside. You can see the A coil here. And then the next picture, you'll be able to see, this is the tray that in the summertime when you're running the AC, the moisture in the air condenses on the cold air coils, and then it runs down into this trough in front of them and then flows out through this through the tube on the front of the unit and down the drain. At least that's how it's supposed to go. So as I began to look at what water sources I have in there, I realized I have a humidifier on the furnace, and that humidifier is a source of water, and it also drains through that same line through a T into the floor drain. So let's take a quick look at the drain system of the AC coil on the furnace, as well as the drain for the humidifier. So let's spin the camera around. All right, so here's the utility room. Let's start with what actually was the source of the water. So this is the humidifier. I've got the cover off so you can see water comes in here, cascades on this pad, air flows from here into the cold air return, passing through this medium, and it absorbs the water and puts the moisture back into the house. So the water cascades down. The additional water, the leftover, flows down through here and through that tube and into the floor and into the drain. Well, what had happened was that the tube got plugged right down there in front of the unit, which backed all of the water up through the T. The only place for it to go was back into the furnace air, or the AC area, the AC coil. Once the pan was full, the water flowed everywhere and it flowed down. Now, the water was here in the photo as you've seen. It was there in the bottom. And what had happened was, as it was flowing down through here, it also got into this area here, which this is your induction fan. And this is a pressure sensor. This has to sense this fan going in order for the system to operate. What happened was water got into this tube, which plugged the tube, and it could no longer sense it, and so it would not start the unit. So I pulled the tube off, blew into the tube, cleared the tube, put this back on, and then the furnace was able to run after I had everything dried out. Now, one other thing I'd like to point out. So if your furnace does not start, generally there's 2 or 3 different items that it could be. This is one of them. If you've had moisture in there, this is one of the most common, is this line being plugged and that pressure switch not being able to sense it. The next thing is this item over here. This is what's called a flame sensor. There's a little rod back in there, and once the furnace starts, that senses the flame and allows the gas then to continue to flow. If for whatever this does not ignite, this does not sense heat, it will turn this on, but if it doesn't sense heat, it would flame, it will turn this back off so you don't have gas just flowing through the system unburned. And then the third thing that will often go out is right back in here. You can see that little rod back in there, that's an igniter rod. And what that does is that glows red hot, and that's what ignites the actual gas as it's flowing through the system. Now, down here on the circuit panel, you will see two lights. There's two green lights. They could be numbers, they could be red and orange. These happen to be green. And then this panel here is a guide. It basically tells you with whatever code the system might have, it'll flash in the particular order of what to tell you what's wrong. So at the very top, you'll see it says pressure switch, says the left light is going to be off and the right light will be slow flashing. That's what I was experiencing this morning after I got everything dried out. And that's how I knew that it was the pressure switch up here that was either bad or plugged. So if your furnace does not start, that's the first thing you check is these lights. It will tell you, the code will either be here or oftentimes it'll be on the back panel of this here. At least you can see if it's something simple that you can handle. A lot of these circuit boards, this is actually a fuse right here. This is where you would reset the fuse. But a lot of these have actual plug-in fuses, like it's in your car. They'll plug into the board, and they're 3 amp fuses, and those will go bad. That's a $3 fix, and you could fix that on your own as opposed to having someone come in. But again, whenever you work on these units, every unit of these is required to have a switch on the side of it right here. Always turn your power completely off before you open the front door on the unit. So let's go ahead, and I'm just going to cycle this. Now, this lower panel also has a safety switch, so it will not run if this lower panel is not on. So it has to push on that switch. Okay, so I've got the bottom panel back on. That switch is activated. Now I can turn the switch on the side of the unit. I did turn the thermostat up so this will actually cycle and we can see. Okay. Okay, I didn't have that tube on all the way. So now the tube's on. The pressure switch is allowing it to run. It's going to heat up our igniter over there. And you can hear the water running from the, as soon as this starts to cycle, if your humidifier is on, it'll start to run that. There you can see your igniter plug. Ignite, or get hot, so that ignite the gas. There's the gas valve. The flame sensor senses the flame and allows it to continue to run. And we're in business. So I'm going to go ahead and swap out these lines, then we'll do one more shot of that, and we're good. Thing to remember is if you're not comfortable with any of this, always call a technician. But if you are comfortable pulling the covers off and doing some minor troubleshooting, oftentimes it's something that's real small. Another tip is make sure you got all the tools the first time you go down. Otherwise, you're going to make a lot of trips up and down the stairs. Okay, gang, we're all finished up. Got brand new tubing replaced. I've got the zip ties to kind of hold all of the wires for the humidistat and the thermostat all tied together so they're not flopping in the wind. And that's how you replace that line and how you troubleshoot. All right, everyone, that's what I got for you today. Hopefully that was helpful. If so, please hit the subscribe button. Click the notification bell so you can be notified every time that we upload. We upload 1 to 2 times a week. Please, in the comment section below, let us know the kinds of things that you would like us to talk about. If there's any particular questions, please ask those. We respond to all of them. We are trying to grow our channel, so if you know other people that would find this information helpful, please share the YouTube channel with them so that we can continue to grow and serve more people. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time. Come on. Well, I guess I'm giving some material for some bloopers anyway. All right, everyone, that's what I got for you today. Hopefully that was helpful. If you find... No, that's not right. All right, everyone. Yeah, I was going to talk about sharing with friends.